I already.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
Yeah, we was riding out. This is Nerdz Fan Podcast. We're gonna go through a few subjects here and just talk about it. Let's see. First subject we got sub versus dub. Let's end this right now. Let's get this over with.
Sub versus dub. I love this. All right, yo. If you need an American adaptation for your personal viewing pleasure, because that means you're not even watching, you're just listening. You can go walk into another room and not watch the show. You're just listening. At that point, you got an audiobook.
This is an American saying this. Do you
I'm
speak the other language?
I delve enough to know what I'm watching,
but you don't speak that language. But it's a problem for you to hear your own language in that context.
But you watch
but I listen to Spanish music, but I don't speak Spanish. You know the words to Despacio, but you don't speak Spanish. You know Pitbull songs, but you don't speak Spanish.
But do you only listen to Spanish music, or do you listen to American music too?
I do listen to American.
More English-speaking music?
It depends. My mood. It depends on my mood, bro. For real.
Okay, listen. When sub folk like to be like, sub is better.
Hold on. We're not going to say sub like
sub fans who are fans of subtitled shows, anime, whatever you want to call it. This is the problem I have with some of y'all arguments. Number one, it's just the emotional inflection. You don't know what they're saying. Take the subtitles off.
But that's not me.
That right there, he makes that inflection. You're like, tell me what he said. Well, how's it deeper?
I know what uno means. I heard that before.
I've heard the word senpai. You don't know what it means. And the dub argument doesn't make sense because you watch probably a million movies, TV shows. You don't go there and be like, hey, man, this sounds better in another language. No, you've never said that before in your life. Hold on. Hold on.
You're not here.
You're not here now. Somebody said they didn't want to be part of the podcast.
Yeah, we got a ghost in the room now.
Wants to be podcast.
All I want to say is that's like telling them to learn Spanish by watching Telemundo. It don't work.
No, I agree.
Verde's green. I know that.
All I'm saying
not
is
true.
one
Motherfuckers
anime
learn
alone,
Spanish from Dora.
Dragon Ball Z. Subs, y'all really like hearing Goku's voice, bro?
That don't sound good.
Time out. Whoa.
You know it don't sound.
Whoa.
Hold on. We got proof.
So you're gonna use DBZ, which was probably the best,
one of the most
best subbed to Americans dubbed ever. Ever. Mind you.
He said best sub. I was like, yo, that's the best sub?
Sub to dubbed ever. With the money that it had. Like, that changed the genre of what we thought anime was. It's been so Americanized that it made you. But
off the back of dubbing. Dragon Ball Z with no dub, anime does not get this big in the West. You're welcome.
Not true.
You're welcome.
Very true. Not true.
Pre-Dragon Ball Z, full hype in America.
It was niche.
Yes,
anime was niche.
It wasn't niche in the black community for the simple fact we just got off the Asian tip with Chinese.
Black nerds were niche, so of course anime was niche back then.
I don't think black nerds were niche. It's just like black hipsters. It was always hipsters. It just became pop culture.
Sir, a subculture within 30% of the population does not equate Western success.
Not true.
You don't watch foreign films.
So would you? Who doesn't watch foreign films?
Where's your big collection?
Netflix.
No.
Netflix is new, nigga.
I've never been one to hold a disc.
All you guys money heist on that.
Yo,
no, I don't.
Money Heist is legit.
Outside of anime, bro. All I see
on Netflix? No.
But
my Netflix
is legit.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying.
I watched a Russian show about a man called the Sniffer, my bro.
What
in
was
that
the
language.
Asian Hunger Games?
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
That was actually fire.
Battle Royale was fire.
But hold on. We'll get off topic. Sub versus dub in the realm of anime, correct? What we're talking about?
Yes. Not Chinese, because if you do that version, you can't.
No, I understand.
That was our thing.
The problem with sub versus dub is this. Dub, we'll be like, we like dub. Sub is like, y'all think dub is somehow like the plague. Like it's going to kill us, and it's just terrible. And the problem is, some of y'all, not all, love to use the old 4Kids dubs, which was specifically watered down for Saturday morning cartoon. Got to throw that out. All those anime were redubbed for a reason.
They got uncut versions.
Like the uncut redubbed versions are way better. So when you go back and listen to old, which one is it? Old One Piece, old Yu-Gi-Oh, heck, even old Voltron, where they had guys doing the high pitched versions of girls' voices. You're talking about the child down, kid-friendly version for television. I'll give you right now any of the top 10 anime that are out right now. You tell me the dub is garbage, and I would be like, I'm gonna need to see some receipts for that.
I would make an argument.
Garbage. Not that you don't like it. Garbage.
Garbage. Baki the Grappler. Its adaptation now, with its dub version, is not the same as the sub version. Everything is different.
But in college, you didn't go to that DVD and switch it to sub when we were
And you watched it with us, yes.
And dub.
You could have switched it up.
You could have switched it.
But then we have subs at the bottom, though?
No.
No, we did.
No, that's because niggas was loud.
Oh, well, I still was fulfilled with the subs. So I
When
get
it was just me and
reference
you,
points at
when
the
he
top.
left, when it was just me and you in the room.
Oh, no, it changed out there. Yeah, it was quiet then.
We just watched the dub.
But when we originally watched, it was like, you had like a hosting event every time you worked. Don't try to act like you was the cool guy on the school campus. He was hosting an event.
I didn't say anything.
Like this man up in your argument.
And then he lowered me.
Had to backhand comments. It works that way.
He ain't said a single word, man.
I'm just saying, we was brought together on the fact that there were subs, and then we moved into dubs. But we all came from subs.
No,
came
in the
from
West.
subs.
Not in the West, my good sir.
So you immediately started watching anime.
Yeah.
Tsunami introduced me to anime.
Cartoon.
Transformers.
I wasn't introduced to
Cartoon.
anime by Toonami though.
Tsunami is
Guyver. Most were. Saturday morning cartoons, Sci-Fi Channel, and Cartoon.
The original Dragon Ball.
These are
on
all
Fox
dub
Kids.
first. That's how they get to understand this. Without dub,
Roman
anime does not
Warriors.
expand in the West. We need dub. We don't necessarily need sub for it to expand in the West.
I think it would have expanded in the West regardless of dub and
Not
sub
to the same
because of
extent.
video games.
Not to the same extent. Name
Why don't
me.
you just read manga and not even watch movies?
I mean, if you want to read so much, read manga.
Who wants to read?
Oh, whoa, no, because that's a whole nother argument
What does your
of
fight
manga
scenes
versus
look like?
anime, which is better. What does your fight scenes look like?
What does your
Page
fight
flips,
scenes look
fight
like?
scene over.
Look at that fist.
Bow! They hit. Collisions. Okay. Next chapter. Fight over. What? God, I wish was here for this. Because he's an avid for reading over videoing, and I'm like...
I will say this, time-wise, I get it. I can run through manga faster than
Oh,
watch
yeah, if you want to watch
faster
One, if
than
you want to catch up on
I
One
get it.
Piece, read One Piece.
I get it. Makes sense. But my thing is, it's like, but by the same argument, do I want to read Die Hard, my G? I don't want to read Die Hard.
No,
I don't want to go.
Would you want to read Berserk or you want to watch that shit animated?
John McClane said, "Yippee-ki-yay, Like,
I will agree with Lee. Dub people will watch subs. So me, I'm a dub like through and through. But at the same time, I
I'll watch
the
sub,
Demon
yeah.
Slayer sub
If I
because I
can't
wanted
wait
to
for it to
catch
come
up.
out.
You watched Hunter x Hunter that summer when I was like, bro, here's your anime playlist.
right. You're
You
right.
watched that sub and you was like, bro. And then you went back to watch it and you was like, it didn't sound right.
But sub watchers won't go through and watch a dub the same. They'll be like, oh, this
No,
is
I will.
dub. This is trash.
I will. Because
Yeah,
I
this
love
is
the
the
culture.
homie.
did you ever
This
hear?
is
Do I have a
What
preference
I
of the
mean.
culture? Yes, but I love the culture. But I have a preference
Have
of
you
the
ever
culture.
heard
it's a
Madara's dub voice?
Yes.
That's one of the best voices. Now, I was just scared of this man, Madara. I was like, oh my god, he was scary. Like, he was scary. I was like, he gonna kill all of y'all.
Yeah, great voice actors.
bro.
But then you get into this wash, rinse, repeat. Like you hear the same guy
Somebody
over
said, okay,
6 animes. And you're like,
Some of
that's cool, but it's like,
Some of the
I know
characters be the same.
Same
Like,
chicks doing the dude's voices
But
and
y'all
subs.
missing
Yeah,
the main
that's
point of the whole thing.
What's that?
I agree with.
this man trying to sound important.
Go ahead.
Are you
Go ahead.
listening?
I'm not
The
trying
mic
to
is
sound
yours.
important.
Let's listen. Like I said.
I'm saying I believe what Lee said. Excuse me. Dub did expand in the West world, but it led us to sub because in sub you get more of a deeper information on the story. Look, think about it like this: if you watch dub versus sub of Dragon Ball, you get more details in the story in the subtitle than you do in the dub because the translation is different.
These times, okay, I agree, PC. This does happen. The problem is some of it's cultural. For example, you watch Princess Mononoke. If you watch that movie,
Yes.
they call those giant animals gods. I believe the translation, they're actually not considered gods. It's like a different word, but we don't really have that word over here.
Exactly, so it gives you two
Sorry.
perspectives
But
of the same story.
I think that perspective is so minute that in the grand
it's
scheme
really
of
not
things,
though.
It depends on the show.
bro, it doesn't.
I see both sides.
Okay, maybe it's just the animes that I've seen subbed and dubbed.
But then I think what we're all missing at this point, this is which brings into PC, is some animes are made for Japan and viewers, and then they make it to the West, and then there's animes that are made for Western influence, and that's what you're getting.
So,
and this brought down to storytelling of how we keep saying there's all these storytellers. There's a wind blowing in here.
you not even paying no attention. Continue, Tatum, because I got an argument.
So I think those genres, I think that should be broken down to why you like dubs and subs, because if you're reading culturally an anime for that cultural region, then it's different than you getting your DBZ. Because I don't really think they watch Dragon Ball like that over there in Japan versus how
well, maybe not now. Maybe not
a lot of
now.
stuff is not popular.
Like,
they got
well, we
from
think
us.
like we like Zoids. They're like Zoids. We like Gundam. They're like Gundam. We still watch Gundam.
At one point, Mecha was like out of style.
Whoa! People will fight you for saying mechas are out of
And
style.
yo,
You get body smacked on the table.
Mechas like that. That's
You
just
know
me.
what? Hold on. Hold on. Different topic. Gotta save that one. Yeah, we got.
You don't have to say that because I think I might be the minority in this, but I'll defend my
Okay,
position.
can we settle this argument?
But
Yeah.
hold on, I have one thing.
Okay.
So, my thing for sub versus dub is I'm gonna take My Hero Academia as my example because y'all two was ahead of me in the subs. So at one point I watched the subs and then went back and watched the dubs. I ain't lose nothing between watching the subs and the dubs.
But that was an anime
That was
Americans though.
I admit that was one anime.
American influence. It was made
But
for
I
Japan.
did not
But we
lose
had our influence.
anything
I'll give you
when
that.
I watched the subs to catch up to y'all. I normally watch the dubs because again I'm a dub.
Movies literally.
So the sub
United States of
wasn't
Smash.
better, but the
The
sub
sub-
doesn't make it.
The sub
they're in
doesn't make
Japan
it
like
any
that.
better. The only thing about the sub is you get to see it 1 to 2 weeks early.
Now hold on. I will give you an example where I understand his point, and I've seen it myself. Once I saw it, I give y'all a little bit, but I'm still dub over sub. I'm gonna tell you what it is. When I watched One Piece, I watched it subbed at first because One Piece obviously dubbed super slow, right?
Man.
So the first time
I'm so far behind
hockey
on
was
One Piece,
introduced in the dub, I remember Shanks was walking onto the boat to talk to Whitebeard,
I don't even know if
and in
they
the
did.
dub they said something. What they say?
Yo, you
What they say? God bless.
No.
Basically, they used a different.
Spoiler alert.
They used a
Thank
different. Yeah, no, they what I'm talking about.
He doesn't.
I have no idea.
We know.
He's trying to
No,
continue.
what I'm telling you was spoiling thing. It's just
Go
it's
ahead.
just one scene. Basically, in the sub and the dub, they used two different words. Like it was in the sub. I think they. Which one was it? One of them basically they said blah blah blah. Their hockey is too strong. The lower characters are too weak. In the other version, there was like his aura. They hid it because they want to bring out the word hockey to later in the storyline. So depending on what you watch it, yes, you will get different storyline points. I've seen very subtle differences, but once again, if you're watching the overall story, whether I use aura, power, hockey, we watch enough anime to understand there's some invisible force they're using to be strong. Like it's not really that deep. So I get your point too, where I don't really miss anything. Now, if it's cultural, I do understand we're not just gonna get the dub or sub or not. We're not gonna get it. We don't live in that culture. It won't matter if it's sub or dub. They might say the blah 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 at the blah blah blah. We don't know any reference to that.
Rurouni Kenshin or Inuyasha, when they use folklore from there, it doesn't translate into the English.
Yeah.
So for that,
So
if you have-
missing
If it's sub or dub, it doesn't
honestly, if you
translate.
want to argue, Naruto is the whole premise based on that. There was a lot of confusion between the dubbed and the sub version because the sub version is different in characters and storytelling than the dub.
No.
Yes.
No,
They
that's
changed.
another one that I had to catch up on.
stuff. They changed stuff to make it more presentable to Americans to understand. And
Hold on,
digest.
no,
Fred
that's my
doesn't
original
use that.
argument. You're talking about the edited for kids like TV version. Go watch the uncut.
Yeah,
Come back to me.
there is uncut version. of
There's
it.
No, I know the uncut is different though. Like it's
That's the
different.
point. But all right, we got to move on. This got a new subject, but I just think it's weird for people to hate their own language. And
All I'm saying is why we gotta move on because we could just turn this one episode
We got
into
other
5 different
topics.
episodes.